uh, now we are with the project of shared wisdom. Every one of us had made certain impact in the people around us, and we want you all to share that story, how you made it, like how you made the people around you to change their way of thinking and put your thoughts into action. So that's what we want you to write on a pen and paper, or a script, or make a bunch of pages out of it, and we just want to make a magazine or an ebook or an publication out of it, so that at the end of the year we are going to share a book which is of the experiences, which composes of the experiences of around 20 to 30 people who had really transformed the world which was around themselves. So that was the main theme that uh, theme in which I wanted to start this project off, like that was the one that idea made me to make everything set. And once if we are done with the project, we can go on with many more projects like this in diversified topics, like the one that Grath Prach is doing. We can go get into the health sector, and we can make some people to write some books and the impact that they made in the health sector so far. Like we can also diversify our topics, and we can also add up on some pages to it, and we can also publish certain books in that particular diversified fields. That is the theme of the story, and I want you all uh, to elaborate upon the topics that you are working on, or that you are willing to write upon or add upon in the book, so that it can be like a bit in brainstorming, or a glance outlook of the theme that you're working on.
Mhm. Yeah, so brilliant. I guess we can. You have a document because you already asked people some time back there in the Facebook group, the Impact Navigators group. Do you have that information? Because some people already suggested what they could speak about and write about.
Yeah, but we have people like you, Lukman, writing on social issues. We are having Blacklock writing on certain issues. They want a base document to get started. So I just got struck with that. The base document, I will provide the document as soon as it gets completed, because I was in middle of the base document. So no, so because the people want the base document just because it is like a blueprint, so that they can make it off like in the way the structured pattern of the same page. You can you can take the blueprint of the page, and you can make the same one, but the topic will be different. So that's what I'll provide the blueprint as soon as possible. It might take 2 or 3 days to get the blueprint get completed.
Excellent. Yeah, so what I can give some input there, what I think could be really cool there, what I have seen over the years when we have done all these webinars and different interactions. I think it's more than 100 official now over the last 4 years or something. And there are like 3 types of needs or interest that is always occurring. If you just look at in my inbox, I can see it. It's one is that there is a lot of events, workshops, whatever that is ongoing around the world, and around sustainability and this type of questions that most people are interested in the network. And people want to amplify and show what they are doing. So that's one type of ongoing and occurring request or asking for support. The other is that there are so many projects here, either if it's people from the academics or civil society or entrepreneurs or politicians or investors, that they want to tell about something new that they are doing. And the third thing is people who basically just want to be talking, random talks. So around these 3 type of needs that we see, we would like ahead to be more focused on these three type of streams or this type of patterns for events, for pitching of what people are doing, and random talks. And this book project could be an excellent way of organizing, because that's really to market all the individual good stuff that's ongoing. So we could do it both in a process design, so some people in the coming weeks could tell about what they are doing at the same time as we find a simple format that would be not too difficult. So people, otherwise people, at least my experience is that people tend not to want to be part because it's too complicated. Maybe they don't want to write in English, or they, for some reason, don't want to put the story into some format because it's hindering there. So find an interesting, exciting, not too difficult format to share could be something really cool. And I don't have the solution, but it's just something I find interesting. If we could also ahead work on this to find a simple format for it.
Could I just make a suggestion?
I just wanted to start with that.
And just to follow on from what you're saying, I mean, what comes to mind for me is interview could be a great format, and you have a set of questions which could be somewhat standard, but then maybe interview is a good way to bring out what people want to say, especially when they're not in a position to sort of write an article on their own. Maybe they don't have the confidence for that.
Exactly. So, and also I think if you see at the Facebook chat we just started some hours back, when you have these avatars or these likes or something, you can see what dynamic that occurs. So maybe it could even go down to image or to that level, so it's not even a written language. I'm just challenging or opening up a bit of thoughts now in the air. So what do you think about it? Do you have some ideas out there?
Well, just first thought from what I'm hearing is that there's possibility to make a book or a magazine. You could have a radio show or even video, but I think maybe radio is the easiest. Podcast or something like that. In terms of technical difficulties, it's quite easy to create a podcast.
That could be great. Any other ideas? Hello?
Hello?
Hello? Yes, what do you think? Hello, anyone there?
Yes, this is Andrew Williams Jr. Can you hear me, Bert?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, greetings to everyone here, and greetings to Pradeep. But perhaps we could consider a combination of both of the ideas expressed so far. Both a podcast type event, but also a recording event, so we treat it as though it's a reality show, if you would, even though we are going to finally be published perhaps in an electronic published medium. I think we can include video, audio, we can include multimedia in this publication, so it's not just printed material and it's not just in one language. If you were to pursue that, you could then include subtitling as options for other languages. That's one idea.
Brilliant. Any other thinking about it? I think this is the yeah.
Hello. Yeah. Well, but we can make an document documentary out of, like, we can make a video that composes of the experiences that we have, and we can have the subtitles in the languages that we want, like, some people might be. Hello.
Yeah.
Hello, yeah.
Yeah, someone might, you know it was like, we got stuck in between. Any one of you can continue.
Well, it's funny actually. I'm just working on a sort of video myself, which is a bit about. It's quite related to what we were talking about in terms of what I might write for you guys. So maybe at some point I could send you that anyway, and you could have a look and just it could give you some ideas because it's just sort of compilation of material that backs up a story. And the story I was going to tell was about youth culture and activating young people, which is sort of the focus, one of the key focuses of my project.
Yeah.
Maybe that's an interesting sort of test case that you could have a look at and say, well, how could we do this ourselves? How would we do that ourselves? And also, I would obviously be interested in the feedback.
Mhm. Yes, I leave the word to you there.
Oh,
Hello?
hello. Yes, I'm here.
Hello, Pradeep.
Yes, hi. How are you
So
all?
you can share the ideas regarding. We
Hello.
all fine. You can carry on with the topic that you want to speak on.
Yeah, well, yes. That's great. First of all, I'm glad to meet with you all. Today I meet new friend Lukman, Frost, and my friend Andre, and both very yes, that's great, and Lolit as well. Yeah, well, yeah, that's a great idea. And what I would like to mention, what I would like to share is that as we all are the youth, then we have to focus to raise the voice of the youth by which we can motivate and implement the youth ideas knowledge. So that's why that what we are talking about, the impact, the impact book. The impact book will, I mean, in that impact book, it would be far better if we mention about from the basic level about the youth and the youth problems and how can we resolve such type of problems, by which if we share that book, then the investors or the interested stakeholder can easily know what we are doing and where and how we have to implement such type of the works. Just for example, here in Nepal, I'm doing the empowerment project through the ICT and education. This is one example for other youth, by which other youth can know easily how we can start, how we can survive from the basic level. Yeah, that's my view to share with you all.
That's a great. I guess majority of the people, as I at least from what I can see, they're working on youth, environmental challenges, women, but there is definitely a big focus and interest around youth. So I think that will come up by itself when people start to write. But there are other people as well there. We have academic people who work on climate issues or system ideas and like that. So it would be pretty cool to invite even political leadership. How do you get democracy to work and that type of issues?
Yeah,
Right.
this is very much the kind of stuff I'm working on actually. So I'm really interested in how we all see, these kind of core issues which apply to all impact. And one of the things I wanted to talk about, especially when it comes to young people, is how do we get them to engage, but not that we're asking them to participate in our thing, but we're getting them to engage in their thing, and this was a general
Yeah.
theme that came up a lot in the projects that why young people responded well to the previous projects I did was because I involved them and I made it into their project rather than, and I think if you translate that to a political metaphor as well, that's where my work took me actually, where a lot of people were talking about that young people need to be involved in the policies that affect them, and this could be something that is relevant to everything as a political idea.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And when we talk about impact as well, it's interesting because this idea itself is a type of impact, isn't it? So it's maybe worth mentioning that I don't tend to read books very much myself personally. I grew up with computers. I used to read a lot, and nowadays I learn from articles, and maybe there's a way to sort of engage young people with, for example, video and with maybe short articles, and a book will be like a compilation. But we need to maybe have it in multiple formats so it's accessible and it's impactful in itself.
Yeah, that's key. I think that's key because people tend to be in different spaces and different platforms. So I don't. I have a bit hard to see that you should be in just one space. You need to have some translation into different spaces that the book or the design makes it possible to easily share into other venues or spaces or tools. That's just a reflection as an overall design to be as inclusive as possible. If it was just Sweden or where I am right now, you could find a group of people working with a specific platform or something in a specific time zone and a specific geography. That's on the one hand much easier, but on the other hand it might be a bit more boring since we have such incredible diversity and different actors in the conversation and the chat we opened a few hours back. So that's part of we're building like a big buffet of great projects and energies out there.
Well, but why book? The question is here, like, why should we go for a book rather than going on publishing an online journal or online article, or even something like, there is a blog. There are many blogs you can write upon a blog, or you can add upon the content on the blog. Why are we going for book? Is that we can reach the more people, and we can also reach all kinds of people, the people of lower age, the people of higher age, and the people in between, the younger generation as well. The people who reads a book can also gift a book to someone else, so that they can also get up with the knowledge that we had shared. We have people who had really made changes and who had really impacted the people around them. So we want all this knowledge or the wisdom that is to be shared and transformed to others' minds, and we want others to get into the ripples of impact, and so that they can make this impact to move or spread to more people around them, and they can also be a change maker, and they can also be a part of impact navigators as well.
Great. Yeah, and a book is a good start because it's very concrete.
Yes.
To have a book in the end in your hand, you feel it's real. So it can be a parallel process. So on the one hand, to create this very concrete output, but also in parallel start to amplify the individual stories in the impact journey that we have started already since long time back.
Yeah, I think that's a nice idea. You know, there's a combination of sharing the journey that we're all on, and that you know, calling the book Impact Journey could even be work for multiple reasons. But also the other thought that comes to mind is that the idea of it being a toolkit for uh, potential influencers, because you know, I think there are a lot of young people. I mean, as I say, my focus is specifically on young people, but my general feeling is that they don't feel empowered and they don't realize the power they have in their hands. So a book like this kind of make it tangible for them to say, hey, you know that there's nothing to stop you from creating change, and here are other people who've done it.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. It's great. Uh, Srihari, what you have already started, and I guess we will need some, or it would be great to have some kind of micro group who are, on the one hand, Srihari, you have started with the book already, so that you have taken the lead already there, and I guess we'll push it forward. But it would be
Yeah,
great to
but
have, yeah.
a great bit, like, we need to make this happen. There are many people who just speak upon, we just need to act upon things, and we just need to make it done. The hashtag that we had started with, hash we go for action. We believe in
Mm.
action, and we just want to make this one off. We, by the end of a couple of months or three, we need to make this one, make the book to come into the real world. And I wish, we all, the team and the 20 or 30 people or 50 people, whatever that may be, we all need to get into this project, and we need to do this as soon as possible, because things are already getting passed away. Already the idea came up, and it was around 1 month, it's gone. And now we have only 2 or 3 months to get this completed, and we are also getting going on with certain other projects like this, and some other projects that are going to be coming up in future. So we need to do this as soon as possible. And uh, and like, Pras, can you just share something regarding the topic of your concern? Like, you just uh, told, like, you'll be writing upon youth culture, right?
Yeah.
Can you just add upon a few regarding the topic?
Okay. Well, the subject I was going to write about is based on when I was young and I was creating events, and I went on an artistic exchange. So I went to another country and I got involved in some art projects there. And I ended up moving there and creating some, let's call them progressive cultural workshops, which were, they had a progressive workshop inside them, but on the surface they were a club night, or like a music event in a club. And so it was something that was very cool, but it was, on the other side, was something that was made up of content from local people, and not just some famous person coming in and everybody paying some money to go and see them play some music or something like that. It was a community driven project. So I was going to talk about that, and talk about some of the issues that we had doing it, and how if I hadn't have been so sure that it was the right thing to do, then people, especially our competition, you could say, would have spoiled it for us, if I didn't just go ahead and do it anyway. So it's sort of, I was going to talk about that and talk about things like how, youth culture is I think everybody is in agreement that it's very important for the youth to engage, and we're somewhat confused why they don't. And I was going to just talk about the general ideas that I'm working with in relation also to this project that I'm bringing together now, which is literally focused on that. So that was going to be my sort of story arc, but without wanting to make it too much of a self-promotion. That was the part I was still trying to get my head around, because I don't want it just to seem like I'm sort of just promoting my project. It just happens to be focused on that.
Mm. I
But
think
Um,
what I can support with there in the very near future is to open up this calendar space in the impact journey. So we can start to maybe have three or four people a week, and we find a date in the week where the different projects can speak about what they are doing. So I suggest that I put up a small inquiry in the Impact Navigator or Impact Journey group and ask what date would fit best. And since we are in so many time zones from Asia to US, we could have either twice a week at different times, or we have maybe a longer time. I don't know, but we can open that in the inquiry to see what people like.
Yeah,
Maybe once a week. And
yeah,
from
and
that story, the different people will get a bit of direction if you are uncertain about what you are doing, or maybe pushing a little bit. You can tap that information into the book.
yeah, I think one thing that comes to mind is that there probably should be a sort of head editor of some type. Somebody needs to take that role, and of course, Srihari, you're prompting people of what you want to write about and so on. And Bert, you're like bringing the network together, and you can bring a lot into this. But I imagine that there needs to be one person. I don't know if there already is one, but somebody who's the writer, so to speak, who will really compile the book. Perhaps that'll make it easier to complete it.
Yeah, I don't know. Srihari has started there. How do you look upon this? I totally agree. Someone needs to. There will be That's the challenge if you come from different formats and write in different styles and
Yeah, you need an
and
editor.
so forth.
Yeah, but coming to assembling or coming to making up or compiling the book, we can make it out and we can work upon it with Xavier. He is from I shared Xavier. I just added Xavier a month ago to the group of Impact Navigators. Right, he was good in literature. He can help us with editing the content, and we can compile a book. There is no issue in assembling the topics step by step. We have different sets of people writing on different types, diversified topics, and while assembling or while compiling the book, it might be difficult for us to gear upon with the things. The first one might be on youth culture, and the second one might be upon crowdsourcing, and third one might be upon some other topic. But while assembling the things in an order, every topic should be of a good every topic should give a good sense of meaning at the end of the book. So we will compile that in such a way there is no issues with that. That's what I just want to add upon.
Right.
We have Vinay here. I guess he can add upon some ideas to the conversation.
Yeah, hello everyone. Nice to
Hello.
connect. I was trying to see social media is not very active, especially Twitter, the impact journey. Is there somebody taking that forward?
Not the last weeks here. So next step has been a bit to put up the calendar and the new web page, and to get the different because we have a lot of events coming up the whole year in 2016. So we have pretty cool activities coming up, but around each activity and around the book project, it would be great with some more social media activities, of course, among others the Twitter.
And I'm sorry, I just joined a little late. I was just wondering, is there any theme around the book?
Srihari is...
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you can continue.
No. I said Srihari has started that process.
Uh, Vinay, this the crowdsourced book is all about the experiences that you had or the impact that you had made around the people in the diversified field that you have been working with since the last couple of since the last 10 years, and the impact that you had made, the change that you had brought out in the people surrounding you in your world. So we want to collect the stories of that particular theme. Some people will be working upon crowdsourcing, and some people will be working upon youth empowerment, and some people will be working upon um, youth culture, and some people will be working upon technology. And we want you also to be adding upon a few bunch of pages to the book in the diversified topic that you had been working since the last couple of years or a decade. So that is what the
Uh-huh.
project is all about, and we will be having a bunch of 20 to 30 people adding upon 5 pages each to the book. And at the end of the day, we by a couple of months or 3 months, we will be making up the book and publishing it. Main
Mhm.
idea is all about it. It's about sharing your wisdom with people through the book. That's it.
Is it going to be like 200 pages with, say, 100 short paragraphs about the different social impact projects, or what is the format?
That is what you said, right? It is about the social impact projects that you had done, or that you had taken up, and the change that you had brought up in the society around you. That is what, like, we want to be shared in the book.
And have we also mapped like the number of stories from South Asia, from South America, from Europe, from US? It's going to be a global change makers book.
Yes.
Yeah, Vinay, it is a global change makers book. We have authors from Costa Rica, we have authors from Ghana, and we have authors from Africa. We had others from EU, as well as from Asia, and around the globe we have authors. We are around 20 to 30 people writing on diversified topics.
Mhm.
So you can call it as a global book, which was written by around 20 to 30 authors on diversified topics on which they had worked upon in the last decade.
So can we contribute? I mean, the format is going to be 100 words or 200 words uh, per social impact
I
story.
think it would be more than that. No, it would have to be at least 1,000 words.
1,000 words.
I
Okay.
think so. I mean,
Yeah.
maybe I'm mistaken, but I think Shrihari had said 5 pages, so that's going to be at least a couple of thousand words, I think.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think,
Yeah,
Vinay, what you say there is very interesting for the future because on the one hand, we can have the book in one format as a start, but in the future, if you look at the trend in media, we are going to more simplified formats. So maybe it's like I shared there in the Facebook chat. Can you tell your good story in 4 words? So you have maybe a picture, and then if people want to go, it's a link, and if they want to develop that further, it's a bigger part and so forth. So we find some kind of inclusive format for people who want to at least share something, but don't want to write 5 pages.
Mhm.
yeah.
Maybe start with an ebook.
We are not confined about the number of pages. The content, you can add upon 200 or 400 words. That is at minimum, and you can add upon some photographs that represents your story, and you can add upon some quotes, and you can describe a short story or a short description of the experiences that you had, so that it can add upon some more pages to your work, as well as some more meaning to the things that you had done.
Mhm. So, as an example, I was thinking of writing a story about DeFi, Design Education for You by Abhijit Sinha. I was thinking whether over the next 4 or 5 days, say by next weekend, I can, I mean, just as an example, I mean, I can create a short write-up, a video, tweets. They're running a crowdsourcing campaign on BitGiving as well. So maybe I can collate their story on their behalf and write it and send it across to the team, and you can evaluate whether the format is good and whether we should work on similar sort of stories. What do you think?
Yeah, sure.
I think that's what we
That's
need
a,
now is a few examples. So like I'll get started on something as well, and I think once there's a few examples in the pool, so to speak, then it'll become much clearer what we can do. Because for example, it could be that you have an article, or it could be a video. There could be a short synopsis of it in 200 words, or it may be that 5 or 6 articles relate to each other and they become quotes with an overall article written around it talking about the issue. I mean, there's so many different ways we could do it now. I think it's important just
Yeah,
to get examples going.
yeah, yeah. And exactly. A beta book is like an early stage book is it's a brilliant start to have something, a raw book, and evolve it from there. But to have a mindset around inclusiveness is, I think, something to really have in mind. So we get as many as possible to contribute and feel empowerment.
Yeah, that also came to mind that once you've got some content, you can start publishing elements of that content on the group, and that'll entice more people to get involved as well once they see it moving.
Mm, absolutely.
So another big question here is, are we going to publish it in a hard copy, or are we going to publish it as an ebook, or are we going to publish it as a magazine, or are we going it to publish as an article? So the thing is, like, we are going to concentrate upon hard book. I mean paperback issue at this point of time. I actually want to do that paperback issue if possible. If it is not possible, we'll go on with a magazine that keeps on going on, adding upon some more topics, or we can upon a blog or an articles on a blog page. So actually I'm getting struck with this issue. What kind of thing we going to publish in hard copy, or are we going to publish an ebook, or are we going to publish in magazine? I just want an idea from you guys, so that which one will be the better one, and through which we can communicate to more people that particular thing we'll implement.
I mean, basically, you're talking about a book that's made up of articles. So, if it's articles, you can get them published in other magazines. You can make a magazine from them. You can make an ebook. You can have a paperback book to start with because it's cheaper. But if you focus on the goal would be a book focused around many articles, then you can distribute those articles in multiple ways to promote the book. So it sounds to me like all of the ideas are possible, and just focusing on a paperback as a mindset is a good way because, as I say, it's based on articles. So
Another cool thing could be also that you start with the process and the content as a first stage, and we are already in it right now discussing. And the second, we could maybe make a small crowd funding campaign or something to make a paper book or whatever. When after we have built up a bit of content and movement around it.
Yeah, what comes to mind as well is that there are a lot of people who are trying to get through to young people, or who are trying to get through to impactful, the world of impact, let's call it. So it could be that there's crowdfunding, or even there's some funding to get the book produced so that we don't sell it, but we just give it away to all kinds of different organizations like colleges and universities, so that people just can look at it, get it for free, basically.
That's a great idea.
Yeah, coming to the crowdsourcing part, I have an idea regarding this. We can make the crowdsourcing for the book by ourselves. We can save a bunch of $10 or $20 from the money that we earn in the month, and we can make it aside for a couple of months, and we can make this happen. We can save around $50 a month, and we can make this happen as soon as possible. We don't need to go for a big campaign. Either we can go for a campaign, but the issue is, if we want to make it by ourselves, we can also make that happen.
It can be a parallel. Vina, you have been in the crowdfunding it's also to set, of course, as you say, it's a lot of work to build a big campaign. I don't speak about that. Like, it's more of I think more of a, see it as a fun project to make it a bit of, yeah. It shouldn't be a heavy burden. It should be, yeah, amplify it a bit more.
Yeah, so the if you're doing a crowdfunding campaign, we can probably get people to order the book through the campaign. And what would the cost be? So even if they are pre-ordering the book, should the part of the funds or a lot more of the funds go to a particular cause that you have in mind?
That's a great
I
idea.
just put up the idea. It's just an early idea, but I see it's more to, it would be interesting to make a crowdfunding campaign for more as a curiosity, and of course we could cover some of the costs for the material also, but it's a test for the future a bit that we could learn from.
Yeah, I think it's good to keep it simple at the beginning and not. It's good that we know that we have all these options, but I think if we just start with articles, and in terms of as it starts to build up, then you'll naturally end up with lots of options, and it's good that we're thinking about it. But I think my suggestion would just be to keep it as simple and cheap as possible in the beginning. It's free basically to do what we're talking about in the beginning at least. So.
Sure, I think we can start, agree, we can start with contributing articles, seeing the format, and then probably take a call.
Yeah, and then we could create an ebook version and give that free to impact navigators, for example, and then get their feedbacks. And as it develops as a community project, it'll become much easier then at the stage where we know why we're crowdfunding it and what for, if we want to make a documentary out of it or something, for example.
Okay, but I think we can of course continue for some time, but we have Vinay who can check a bit the format in his space, and Srihari, I guess you are continuing to work on the material you already have started to gather there.
Yeah. But we can carry on with an ebook work, and at the end of the day, I'll be very much concentrating upon making it as a paperback as soon as possible. If we can get the things, like if we want to get the reviews on ebook first, so that we can carry on with the paperback edition. And I'll be very much concentrating upon this particular ebook, compiling the ebook for the impact book as soon as possible, so that we can make a paperback out of it.
Did you put the document in the Impact Navigator group?
Document is to be made yet, because we are collecting the stories from the people. It might take some time for getting the stories from the people. There are certain people who are out of the stations and who are traveling around in the journeys, and we can
No,
make
I
it
mean,
out by
I just mean a document with maybe a headline and the name of the potential author. So we have like an index.
Okay, I'll keep that the front and back pages of the book that we are going to write upon. The cover pages of the book, I'll share it on the group by two days.
Because then we could make
Yeah.
we can upload the document here, so like we have the content, the first page with potential contributors and at least the first headline.
Yeah, sure. Uh, we we have Lukman names. I guess he can add upon some points or some ideas to the conversation. Is Lukman, are you there or are with us? Hello.
Hello? My screen went black here right now, so I can't see you, but I can hear you.
Hello, Bert.
Hello? Hello?
Bert, this is Andrew. I want to recommend that we consider a glossary as a key and very important part of the publication so that we all understand what words mean that we're using in the publication.
That's a good
That's
idea.
that's a great idea. We have there is a lot of researcher in this community, and we had this idea last year as well when we started Crowd Chat for Good community. That was also starting like this, and we formed a small team, like a research team. So I think when we start to have some material, there could be researchers who would like to interview the different people and ask a bit what it means, the different content or words around it. Like what you are saying there, Andrew.
Well, actually,
Sorry.
I quoted
I was going to say just maybe Wikipedia links would be a good
of
idea.
the words so that anyone can go to Wikipedia or to anywhere. We have common definitions of the words because the meanings that we imply for the words can be unique to each individual, but the words themselves, I think we have to have a common agreement upon what the meanings are of the basic words that we use to describe what it is that we're doing.
Hmm. Yeah, and I guess when we start to have a document or some text, we will start to see what type of words what we speak about, what type of words.
Yeah, I think after the articles, then the glossary can come then, once people understand which words are, let's say, questionable keywords that need to be explored.
I mean, a few words that always are a bit confusing or argue this impact, or what does good mean, or what does better future mean. There's a lot of interesting buzzwords out there that means different to different people.
One of the most important things we perhaps can become is then subject matter experts in the definition of the words that we use so that those people can come to us, and that itself I think will begin a momentum towards any publication that we produce.
Yeah. But I guess in general, when people start to see the text emerging, we will see what type of words that what do you mean by that, and a parallel process with small hangouts or webinars explaining the various projects. In that process, these type of words would occur, and it can be a dialogue around it. So the glossary could be developed in parallel.
Yes.
And I know
we need to have an
yeah.
yes, but we need to have an agile meeting every week so that we can track out the process of making the book at the end of the day. Every week we can be every week at the end of the week, and the Saturday or Sunday we can spend in half an hour or 10 hours on 10 minutes 10 minutes on internet with a conference call on Skype or on Hangouts, so that we can uh, uh, track out the progress of the book or progress of the writings that the authors are making parallelly.
Yeah. Should we suggest Sunday already now, or should we make an inquiry in the group, or how does it, is weekend okay? We have a good thing with asking in the group is that more people could tell maybe they can't join in the weekend, or it could be another day in the week as well.
Well, I recommend we continue the meeting like right now, because it is recorded, and those people that are not able to physically attend can always listen. But I think continuity is important, and if this is a good time that we are beginning, perhaps we can have the continuity so that people will know what time each week to participate. For me, I'm in the Western United States, so it's and you in London. It seems it's a good time. So perhaps this would be a good time. We could select this or some other time on Sunday to be the time when we could continue these ongoing meetings, since we've been done for now today.
One possibility is, I mean, not a risk maybe, but if you divide it into two parts, so let's say one of the webinar starts or Hangout starts 5-6 hours earlier than now, and one a bit later than now, then there is a risk that we separate the groups. But another potential is that you'd make a 4-hour space from maybe now till 2-3 hours plus. Then if you are in San Francisco or that part of on the globe, then it will not be too early in the morning. It will be early, but it will be morning, normal morning time. That will give them the chance to tap in.
Right. I'm open.
You can have, for example, from 1, you could suggestedly have from 1 p.m. UK time, London, to 5-6 maybe. And we have an open space for 4 or 5 hours.
Well, Bert, getting stuck with this issue of time zones, I just want to suggest you one thing. You can add upon the time zones in the morning and evening of the day, so that we can have a 10 minutes discussion in the morning and a 10 minutes discussion or a half an hour discussion in the evening, so that both the time zones will be covered parallelly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we what do you think? I can ask in the group. I can set up an inquiry what people think.
Just perhaps it might be an idea to consider, though, the 1 to 4 hour window, because those people that are not able to tune in regularly would perhaps plan to attend. I think it's perhaps more important to have one session than two, so you won't duplicate the conversations in the later sessions without in the first session. That's just my personal opinion.
Yeah, I also believe that. I think it's more difficult to have twice in one day than to have a longer dialogue. That's my feeling from before. And because who will then translate between, if it's 6-7 hours between the webinar or Hangouts, for example. Wait, let's try. We can decide. That's a suggestion. We can try next Sunday, starting maybe 1 hour earlier than today, and continue till 5. And we write it in the groups and invite people and see how it works.
I think that's a great idea.
So 1 p.m. UK till 5 p.m. UK time. And in parallel, we have the Impact Navigator group, we have the and not the least the Facebook chat that we set up to have a more intense sharing around the project. So it's not too much maybe in the main group, but the impact journey group itself, we can go into the group also. Maybe you are a bit confused, some of the people there. There are so many groups and you are part of it in many groups, but Living Bridges Planet has over time, which was one of the first group, that in that group we have shared a lot of content around networks and community building and that type of information. Impact Journey, that's more about the activities itself, about the webinars and what will come up and different activities. And Impact Navigator is a bit more for the how you design and the practical information around doing these activities. So Living Bridges, more of the networks and community articles, Impact Journey, more about activities, and Impact Navigator, more about how you do it.
I can see some new people coming in. Vaiku, can you add upon some new, some good ideas to the conversation? Hello. Hello.
Hello? Am I interrupting?
No. You can carry on with the conversation. You can add upon some ideas to the conversation indeed.
I've been listening and trying to absorb the some kind of wisdom here. So can I stay and be one of you?
So can you repeat?
You are one of us.
Oh, thank you. And please go on the I mean uh just go on. I mean, I like to listen to what's going to happen, and I would like to join your event.
Great.
Okay, brilliant.
Well, Andrew, can you just share about some more, like, can you give a brief outlook on the things that you're going to write in the impact book, or the things that you're going to add upon to the pages that you're going to write in the impact journey book?
Well, actually, just to let you know, my name is Andrew Williams Jr. I'm the president of 5 Points Youth Foundation here in Los Angeles. We are undertaking a 5-year project to involve the world with the United Nations Global Compact, particularly with non-governmental organizations, which is free for them to join. But in light of the Sustainable Development Goals, we believe that now all countries on Earth and all peoples on Earth uh, are empowered to work together to accomplish goals and objectives that go far beyond our local community, but involve the global community. So we are dedicated to focusing our attention on working with what's called multi-stakeholder partnerships. That's Sustainable Development Goal number 17. So any input I would have would be towards realizing that that accomplishment. And this group is a perfect example of ways that I believe we have to bring collaboration into what we're doing.
That's great, Andrew. Well, but is there any ideas that you're going to share upon with regarding in regard to the publication of the book, or do you have any ideas in the way that you want to see the book?
No, I think on the one hand, the process of building relations and actors, something around living bridges. I mean, the background story. That is where I think I have most all these activities online, how it worked to connect local groups distributed in different communities, the potential and the challenges around it. That's something around that.
That's great. Uh, but like what were the ideas regarding how does the cover page, or how does the index, or how does the preface of the book that you want to see? Actually, we will be getting into the topics, that is for sure. But what would be the intro of the book that we are going to write? And I just want to know how it would be, and what should it point out, or what should it figure out?
Well, I don't have an exact answer on that. So it's just it gives it a starting point to see, just to see a simple index of who would like to be part. It's a bit gives it a bit of direction and feeling, and maybe more people would join in then in the coming days.
That's great, Bert.
At least because there are people here in the network that can speak, have tons of stories to tell and doing awesome projects. But just to start with a headline, then you start to have something, and it gives like a small personal push to initiate the process.
Oh, that's great. But the thing that goes in the background is more important here. The connecting the people and getting the content from them is the issue that we are getting struck at this moment. Uh, and I guess I hope people will come up with the topics in the couple of weeks, or in the next month, so that we can collect the topics and we can compile the book. There is no issue in that. But the problem is collaborating the people. That's what I created, that's what created the group for, actually, in on the Facebook chat, so that we can discuss upon the progress of the book, book in the Facebook group itself, so that we can keep on going with that.
But it's a great. I think what we discussed today here, that people, at least I can just speak from a personal point of view, that there are so many things you're involved in. So even just to say yes, I want to deliver something is a bit of a stress. So if you say, okay, it's fine, I can share a picture and a small story, that will be okay to be within the book. So if we decide to have a very inclusive format, and Vinay, as I understood it, could take a look on this, then and maybe a few examples to start with, then it's easier for the majority to come in.
Yeah, but that's interesting. But indeed, what I would like suggest, I would ask from you is, how does you people able to organize the Jelly Week around the globe? I just want to know the experiences that you had, the troubles that you had faced regarding organizing the Jelly Week around the globe in 2010, I guess.
Oh, there was that would take hours. But the dynamics on the one hand, there's clearly different barriers for people. Just to attend the webinar like we are in now it was a surprise to me that it was, to many people, it's a big barrier to take the step in and being seen in a webinar. And another to, maybe you just see it yourself in Facebook, people maybe don't even want to comment because they feel afraid of being seen. I don't know. This is what I can hear from people telling me in individual chats or webinars. So that is part of the biggest challenge, to get the people to take one step forward and dare to do things, to be seen. So therefore, this inclusive concepts of like the Facebook chat, where you just do the thumbs up, or extremely simple concepts, is vital for behavior to occur there in the space. If you build a design like we did in Jelly Week, when we started 1st of November for 3 years, and we celebrated the 3rd week in January, it was the same process each year. It was very hard to get the first things going in November, December, and then around New Year it exploded all 3 years. So we doubled the size of communities who wanted to do a collaborative event after 1st of January each year. So the 2013 in January, we had 255 events going on in 1 week. And many of those events, co-working spaces, they made maybe 5-7 activities in 1 week. So there were many thousands of entrepreneurs involved in the process. And the more you can visualize that people are active, the more energy is spreading out in the network. And there are, of course, ways there. We never came to that level, but we had one idea. I can give you a story. If you look at the map from January 2013, we used a Google map, so you just added a small spot there, this pin with your space and what activities you were going to do. And in December 2013, suddenly someone put the logotype of the co-working space in the map instead of just a blue dot. And that became like irritation, or like, what are you doing? Because we are just a simple spot, and you have a logotype there. So it was a big activity, and suddenly more people started to add their logotypes instead of the blue spot. And what I learned from that is that you have most communities, they have built identities over a long time. So when you see this, it becomes like a buffet, or like diversity in expression. And that triggers a lot of action. What is that logotype about in New Zealand or North Sweden or whatever? And you can increase that this curiosity by, for example, have like in an airport, where you can have boarding or something, where the different communities and different skills or different interests can start to blink or something, to increase this curiosity. And that is the trigger to start to share. And out of the sharing, you can start a projects or innovations or something. So it's a lot of potential there, but the power was easily seen, that you can, it's easy to transfer inspiration at distance.
That's really great, Bert. I don't know the story, like how you people came up in the beginning, but the beginning is a bit important in this particular crowd outsourcing or crowdfunding, or when you are going to do something with the crowd, you need to lead them in the right way, or else your crowd will be getting lost in middle.
And basically when in the background, when we started Living Bridges, was a metaphor, and Vinay was in here basically in Bergsjön, where we did the first event, and that's based on some ideas and evidence around networks and empowerment. And later on, when we did Jelly Week and other similar crowdsourced activities, distributed events, then we said we need then impact journey emerged as also like a metaphor. So we need like a never-ending, bigger journey where we can tap in the different activities. You need a process to build relations. So impact journey is more the activities and it's forward oriented. So that's good because you can build up. It's more about the future and potential, and to visualize a lot. And that's the book project we are speaking about now is a perfect thing to both amplify the individual activities and collectively market and share that ideas and all the inspiration. And at the same time as you do some meaningful stuff on the way
Yeah, that's great.
and learn a lot.
Yeah, we have Jonathan Bean from US. I guess he can share some ideas regarding the sustainability. Uh, Jonathan, are you there with us on air?
Hello?
Hello. Uh, we have Jonathan Bean. He will be sharing upon the ideas regarding the sustainability. I hope he can continue with the conversation. Well, but it's okay. Like, how come we go on starting with the crowdsource? Like, how to manage the thing, how to manage the people around us, like how to manage the crew. And I just want to have some tips from you so that we can efficiently manage the crowd and we can get the things done effectively and in a less
Yeah,
time.
I think we had a good starting point. People got some possibility to interact, and we now have the Facebook chat where I'm sure people can follow up and they will see this video if they want later or if they have done it already. As I said, I can ask in the Impact Navigators Facebook group about what time, or we more or less decided, I think, 1 p.m. UK to 5 p.m. UK next Sunday, where there is a new potential to tap in. I think Pradeep did some notes, at least we spoke about it initially, and we have the video other case about the key points that were said today. And Vinay will take, if I understood you, Vinay, you can correct me if I'm wrong, there can start to see how it could be in a format, how it could be used in the coming days. And Srihari, if you can together with me maybe upload the document with the names so far and the headline, so people can start to see who will be part of this project. And there they could add their name and also a title or something in a very simple way, so we have some direction forward.
Yeah, but that is very much needed. As I think also we need to make it as soon as possible. I'll upload the things by the end of this week. That is for sure, and I'll give a blueprint of how to make the document so that people can get started with writing upon the articles of their interest. So that would be a right pathway for them to get started with the things.
And also we decided if I think to have it a very simple way so people could contribute in half a page or a simple story.
Yeah. Oh, well, but I'll be sharing an rough ebook with you all so that it will be written by someone else, but I will share that on the group of just as an blueprint so that people can get started writing upon it.
Excellent. Yeah, I think
Uh,
it's a good start. Anyone who want to add some spontaneous comments or whatever?
Yes, this is Andrew. I would like to add, I actually focus on the term sustainability. It is my understanding that even though in 2012 the world did not end as the Mayans had predicted, in 2013 we have actually entered into what may be an extinct level event horizon, whereas the impact of multiple years of climate change are forcing the entire world to shift its consciousness. So I'm very glad that the COP21 meeting brought together over 193 countries to decide that collectively we have to move forward. But Bert, I have to ask if this team would look beyond sustainability to regenerative design and development, simply because in sustainability, you're sustaining, it's impossible to sustain a decline. And in my opinion, we are in a decline economically, ecologically, etc. So I would ask for this team to at least consider that what we're doing has I hope to be a more holistic impact on the relationships that we're building.
Yeah.
Secondarily, secondarily, I do not agree with, accept, or condone 100% or even the majority of decisions that are made by the United Nations as an entity. However, it has provided the Global Compact, and I would invite everyone here to look at the Global Compact. It is the largest collaboration of corporations and NGOs focused on corporate social responsibility, and they have 10 basic principles that I believe can be used to provide a guideline for working together, not just with individuals or with corporations, but with countries and cities as well.
Yeah, that's great.
it's really interesting. I guess YT can wind up. I guess we can continue with the conversation, adding upon some more ideas.
Okay, I think it's fine for today. We have the chat group where we can continue when we want. And also, of course, the main Impact Navigator group. I think these two places are the best to share about this practical stuff around the book. Impact Journey overall group and Living Bridges is more about sharing articles or other activities.
Well, Brett, before we leave, perhaps you could, or someone could type into the chat here the links to the Facebook pages or websites where people can begin their journey through Living Bridges Planet.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. I write them in the Facebook chat here because my screen right now, I can't see it. I can just hear because I run out of battery. So I will write it in the impact book, in the impact chat.
Okay, but we'll wind up with a conclusion at the end of the conversation. I just want you to conclude something from out of the conversation that we had a long hour since the long hour.
Excellent. Okay, so have a nice continuing on the weekend.
You too, Bert.
Great. From Sweden. The sunny side of Sweden.
Cheers, everyone.
I'm in Hong Kong, freezing to death.
Okay. Okay.
I just
Have
got
a nice
flu,
day.
lying on bed.
We have Lukman, Jonathan, as well as Vaiki in the conversation. I would like to hear some ideas from you all, because it should not be of one-sided, because you are there since like the long time on the webinar, but we want you to be sharing some ideas that you have.
So what's the topic?
Jonathan, it is all about the crowdsourced book that we are going to write, and you told that you'll be writing upon the topics of sustainable growth, sustainable development, and can you add upon some glossary of that topic that you are willing to add upon in the impact book?
Yeah, I wrote a little bit.
That's really interesting. Can you share upon the theme that you are working on, or can you share upon the ideas or the impact that you had created, or the effort or the work that you had done in that particular theme since the last decade or the last couple of years?
You want to know what I've been doing with my web app?
Yeah, Jonathan. Actually, we heard you working on the web app since the long time. Can you just give a small intro about that once again, for the people to get know uh, to to know the basics of the app that you are working upon, or the theme of the app that you are working upon? Because Lukman and Vegri are the new people that you might had not have on the webinar that had happened long ago.
All right. I'm developing a web app that'll help people consume sustainably, and it does that by helping people measure, track, compare, share, and reward their consumption of food and other things that is healthy for Earth, society, and the body.
Well, that's really interesting. So, can you add upon something like how this crowdsourced book should be, or do you have any questions regarding making the book, or do you have any suggestion in making the book?
Yeah, it's kind of hard to understand what you're saying because it's breaking up a lot. I'm not sure what you're saying, and I don't hear anything now. Oh, yeah, his connection's gone. So did you guys have any questions? Hello, Christiana. We kind of lost some people. Did you guys have any? We got an echo from Christiana.
Yes, hello.
Yeah, hello. How are you? Yeah, I guess we were talking to Sri
Bad
Hari.
connection here. I
Yeah.
think bad connection we have.
Yeah.
She may
Yeah.
reappear.
Christiana, I think you got muted. Did she get muted?
Oh, she comes again.
Yeah, she's muted.
Hello.
Yeah, we can't hear you because you got to press the little microphone button at the top. There you go.
Okay, I pushed the little button in the microphone. Can you hear me now?
Yes. I can hear you.
Excellent.
Hello.
Hi, everybody.
Waiting for your speech.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Pleasure.